We are now approaching the end of the first quarter of the new year. We are still in New Year resolution mode, correct? You still see people trying very hard on treadmills, pushing diligently, sweating until the whole t-shirt is soaked, dripping right onto the belt. But their belly fat looks the same shape and size as it was in January. Even worse, some look even bigger. The reason is that the higher the intensity you train at, the more you turn up the stress hormone knob. The more it elevates, the harder it becomes to lose visceral fat. Remember, this training stress does not land in isolation. It adds on top of your daily stress, your not-so-perfect sleep, and the other little things in your routine that have quietly been causing some inflammation. It is like a vicious cycle. The harder you push, the more stress you pile on, the fewer results you see, and then you push even harder trying to fix it. How about we try a simpler, calmer approach? We do a Zen Calm Mode. This is not about slowing down or lazing out. These are ways to help you balance your hormones and your metabolism so you can effectively tackle this problem and tell your body that it is safe to let go of the fat. We are talking about walking with the right attitude, the right intention, and the right approach. If you want something effective, low stress, and easy to marry up with what you are already doing, a parallel habit, this is the best several minutes you can spend before the next resolution comes around.
Why walking can be superior to constant hard running for belly fat, we need to look at how your body uses fuel. Your body mainly has two fuel sources, glucose, which is sugar, and fat. Glucose is fast energy, readily available, and quick to burn. Fat takes longer to extract and use. So when you push very hard and your heart rate spikes, your body interprets it as an emergency. It needs energy right now, so it reaches for glucose first, the fast fuel, and fat gets left on the shelf. Now add poor sleep and daily life stress on top of that, and your cortisol stays elevated. And here is what that stress hormone is actually saying to your body. The emergency is not over. Stay ready. Keep the engine running. So your body does exactly that. It keeps reaching for glucose as its primary fuel because fat is simply too slow for an emergency. But here is the problem. Glucose runs out fast. So cortisol triggers hunger and cravings, specifically for sugar and processed carbs, to keep topping up that fast fuel tank. Your body is not being irrational. It is doing exactly what it was designed to do in a crisis. The problem is, there is no actual crisis. You are just stressed and tired. Now, why does the fat end up specifically around the belly? Visceral fat, the deep fat around your organs, is actually the body's most accessible emergency energy reserve. It sits close to the liver, which is your body's main fuel processing center. So when cortisol stays high, your body preferentially stores fat right there, close to where it can be grabbed quickly if needed. It's your body building a convenient emergency fuel depot right around your midsection. And the more glucose keeps flooding in from those cravings, the more insulin your body has to release to deal with it. Over time, your cells get tired of being constantly flooded and start ignoring the signal, and that's how insulin resistance begins to develop. So even though you're working hard and burning calories, you're burning emergency glucose, not fat, while simultaneously being signaled to store more fat around your middle and eat more sugar to replace what you just burned. You are running hard and going absolutely nowhere. You sweat, you suffer, and then you feel hungry, and that hunger feels like proof that you earned something. But unfortunately, what you burned was not the fat you were hoping for. It was just emergency glucose, and your body is already asking you to replace it.
So here are the 5 approaches that turn a simple walk into an effective fat-burning tool. First, the post-meal walk. It sponges up the glucose. Walk for 10 to 15 minutes shortly after your largest meal of the day. Here is the mechanism. Normally, insulin acts like a key that unlocks the front door to your muscle cells, letting glucose in to be used as energy. But when you are insulin resistant, that key does not work as well. Glucose cannot get into the cells efficiently, so it stays floating in your bloodstream instead. And glucose that cannot get into your cells does not just disappear. It eventually gets converted and stored as fat. Fortunately, there is actually a side door, and muscle contraction is the key to that side door. That side door is a transporter called GLUT4. It normally floats around quietly inside your muscle cells doing nothing. But the moment your leg muscles start contracting, like during a walk, they send a signal that pulls GLUT4 up to the surface of the cell. Once it's there, it opens up and pulls glucose directly from your bloodstream into the muscle, where it gets burned as fuel. No insulin required. This is a completely separate pathway that bypasses insulin resistance entirely. Studies show that post-meal walking improves 24-hour blood sugar and meaningfully blunts the glucose spike after eating. So your muscles act like a dry sponge. They vacuum glucose out of your bloodstream before it can be converted and stored as fat. The glucose spike drops, the insulin spike drops, and you spend far less time in fat storage mode, all from a gentle 10 to 15-minute walk after eating. When walking for fat loss, the most important thing is to get your intensity right. Most people either walk too fast, or it looks more like a jog or a mini run, or they stroll so slowly that even a crawling baby could catch up with them. Neither works. You need to keep yourself in the fat-burning zone, at the right pace, yet sustainable and calm enough for your body to actually use fat as its primary fuel. And no, I am not asking you to strap on an Apple Watch, a Garmin, or any gadget. It is much simpler than that. When you walk, breathe through your nose only for the entire walk. If you feel a strong urge to open your mouth and gasp for air, you have pushed past your comfortable aerobic zone, and your body is starting to shift into that higher stress, glucose-burning state we talked about earlier. Simply slow down until nasal breathing feels easy and natural again. Nasal breathing does a few powerful things for you. First, it keeps your intensity in the zone where fat oxidation is highest. Fat oxidation simply means your body is breaking down and burning stored fat as fuel, and that process works best when you are calm, well oxygenated, and not in emergency mode. Second, breathing through your nose slightly increases carbon dioxide levels in your blood, which actually helps your body deliver oxygen more efficiently to your muscles and tissues. And third, it supports a calmer, more relaxed nervous system state. Think of nasal breathing as your built-in fat burn speedometer. If you can breathe through your nose comfortably, you are in the right zone. If you cannot, you have gone too far. It really is that simple. Walking is effective, but your body is incredibly good at adapting. Over time, the same walk burns fewer calories and provides less and less stimulus. To keep results coming without turning your life into endless cardio, we add a light load. Put on a backpack. Add 2 to 5 kilograms of water bottles or books. That is it. This small addition increases the total energy cost of your walk by around 20 to 30%. It also forces your core, hips, and upper body to work continuously to stabilize the load, turning a simple walk into a low-impact, full-body stimulus. And there is a bonus most people don't know about. Mechanical loading on your bones triggers the release of a hormone called osteocalcin, which research links to improved insulin sensitivity and metabolic function. Your bones are actually part of the metabolic conversation. A light backpack is not a punishment, it is an upgrade. Approach number 4 is the peripheral vision magic. This one is completely free and one of the most effective ways to lower your baseline stress levels, which, as we now know, directly drives cortisol and visceral fat storage. Here is something most people never think about. Your eyes have 2 modes. When you zoom in and laser focus, like staring at your phone, you create a narrow, tunnel-like vision. And biologically, that kind of focus is your threat detection system switching on. Your nervous system reads it as, something needs my full attention. Stay alert, stay ready. It keeps you in that switched-on, stressed state, even when nothing is actually wrong. But when you move forward through space and let your eyes naturally scan the environment, objects drifting through your peripheral vision, the horizon ahead, the world passing around you, something very different happens. This is what neuroscientists call optic flow, and research shows it actively reduces activity in the brain circuits responsible for stress and anxiety. Your nervous system reads it as, I am moving, I am safe, I can relax. Walk outside when you can. Leave your phone in your pocket. Look at the horizon. Let your eyes move naturally across the environment. You are not just burning calories. You are actively turning down the stress signals that drive visceral fat storage in the first place. And that is something no treadmill staring at a TV screen can give you. This last approach is a powerful tool that helps accelerate the process without adding any more intensity. Do you know when insulin is at its lowest level? It is right when you wake up. And at that same moment, your liver's glucose stores are partly depleted, especially if you had a light dinner the night before. That combination creates the best possible window for your body to draw more heavily on stored fat for fuel. A gentle 15 to 20-minute walk after you wake up will do the trick. And the best way is to walk outside in natural morning light. Getting sunlight into your eyes within the first 30 minutes of waking anchors your body's internal clock, sets your cortisol peak earlier in the day where it belongs, and supports better melatonin release at night, which means better sleep. And better sleep directly improves insulin sensitivity and reduces appetite the following day. So a fasted morning walk in natural light is not just burning a little fat right now. It is engineering better hormonal conditions for fat loss every single day that follows. You might be thinking, this sounds too easy. Suffering means results, right? Physiologically, your body lets go of fat more easily when it feels safe, stable, and well supported, not when it thinks it isn't a constant emergency. These 5 approaches are not about burning maximum calories in one session. They are about stacking the right signals throughout your day. You signal your muscles to clear glucose. You signal your body to run on fat. You signal your nervous system to stand down. You signal your metabolism to stay active and strong. Stack those signals consistently, and the biology responds. The belly softens. Energy returns. Cravings calm down. Start tonight. Plan a walk. Put on a light backpack. Close your mouth. Look at the horizon, and let your biology do the work for you. If this was useful, subscribe. Every week we share science-backed, practical tips and habits designed for real results. Train smarter, not harder. See you in the next one.